Hey Jeff, how important was it to come here and just try to flush out what happened yesterday, basically?
I lost the end of that, Ted, but I'm going to assume you said how important it was to flush it. I think it's a good opportunity. That to come down here and you go to work. I've said this lots before. What you can do from the past is learn from it, and so we better learn from it and go to work and try to get it corrected. And that's what we did here today. So I think it's a good opportunity to flush.
Was it surprising or disappointing, I guess, in that respect that, you still got that type of performance from some people last night in that respect?
Yeah, I was disappointed that when they scored, our pushback wasn't good enough, and it just, obviously it happened fast, and next thing you know, you're down 4-0 there. I thought at that point, we didn't stay with it, and you still got to play good hockey. Like we go into the third period, like we're just trying to build here, and you can't, allow the score to dictate, that you go out and you play that kind of period that we played in the third. We had 0 chances for. And I know that wasn't the period that crushed us. I get it was the first. I actually thought we came out in the first 5-6 shifts and played in their zone, didn't create enough, but played in their zone, did some things we want to do. And then once they scored, it went fast. And then again, I didn't think our pushback was good enough.
Hey, just one quick one and a little bit sideways. I'm sure you know Mel Pearson obviously pretty well. Just the news today that second straight year, a lot of those kids aren't going to make the tournament. How crushing do you think that is? Just to be in the sport and everything like that, it's got to be heart-wrenching in a way.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know enough about the what their policies are. I don't, I guess I'd be interested to see how many people tested positive. I think the NHL has done a really good job of understanding that with serial testing, you can have a positive test. It doesn't mean the whole team has to be done. So from the outside looking in, it didn't seem to make much sense. But again, I don't have all the information, but certainly hard for the players and the coaches too. Like, the coach are going to say about the players, and I get it, but it's the coach's livelihood too. And, they put lots of work in, a ton of work in to get to that point. They got a really good team. And I know a number of those players, they're really, really good players and probably had a chance to do something special. And so that sucks.
Thanks for this, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, Answer Khan, I'm live.
Yeah, Jeff, Bobby Ryan was just saying about calling this practice the most intense of the season. Do you find that practices like this carry over into the games, or how do you get that intensity to carry over into the game?
I think, our guys rightfully so were embarrassed last night. We were embarrassed. And so, we should have had an intense practice today. And I'm sure, I'd be shocked if we didn't start the game intense tomorrow. Now, the question is when things go good for you tomorrow or things go bad for you tomorrow, how do you react? That's the bigger question, I think. I think we'll start with the deserved chip on our shoulder that we should have, we're out to prove that we're a better team than what we've played here the last little bit. But that doesn't mean that everything's going to go great. And when it goes the wrong way, do you dig in or do you fold? And the other night I thought we folded, big time, and then didn't do it right after that. So we're going to get tested. It's going to be a good team. They're super hungry for points. It's going to be a hard game, and we got to make sure we can do it for 60.
You mentioned last night, just the importance of focusing on defense and not cheating for offense, even when you're not when you're going through a scoring slump like your team has. Is it difficult or easy for players to buy into that when they are experiencing a scoring slump to maintain that focus on defense?
I think what you learn over time is that you check and you get chances. When you check, you actually produce more offense. So, I think over time, guys, and if you just look at our recent history, we got embarrassed in Tampa Bay. I thought we focused on checking and then we started playing good hockey after that, and because then you're you have way more offense. Like if you don't check well, you don't get any kind of offense at all, and all you do is defend. ultimately we got to defend less. We got to have more offensive pressure for sure. But to do that, we got to be on the right side of people. We got to, I guess when I say defense, it's not just like defending in your end at all. In fact, it's not it at all. It's being on the right side. It's angles. It's producing turnovers by checking, and then you play in the offensive zone.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah.
Next up, Art Regner, DetroitRedWings.com.
Hi, Jeff. Jeff, a game like last night, does that just kind of come out of nowhere? Did you anticipate that this could happen? I mean, I'm just kind of curious that when you see a game like last night, do you kind of reassess things, or do you say, hey, it's human nature, we were all off, let's just move on and try to build from it and be somewhat positive?
Well, I try to be realist all the time, and the reality is that can't be okay. So it's not, let's just move on. We have to look at it and do a deep dive and say, well, why did that happen? Now, again, it wasn't, did I see it coming? I think it's more the what happens within the game and how you react. Like, again, when we came out, I thought we had some jump early. And then once the first goal went in, then we took a bad penalty and they scored a power play goal, and it just snowballed from there. So that's when you got to stop the bleed. And that's when you got to dig in. So I think it's more within the game that we got to do a way better job of digging in those situations.
Jeff, I know you grew up a Red Wing fan. I know March 26, 1997 is a huge date in Red Wing history. The whole melee with the Avalanche, the McCarty-Lemieux thing. Do you remember where you were? Is that one of those, historic moments in Red Wing history in your mind?
Well, it's a huge moment for sure. I was a student at Fair State at the time. It was a huge. I don't recall exactly where I was, Art, but I mean, obviously it was a big moment. It was a pretty cool time. Certainly goes down in Red Wing lore as one of the great moments, kind of defining moments of that era of team. So, but I don't remember where it was.
From a coaching perspective, can a moment like that was supposedly from the galvanizing moment when they actually became the championship team that they were going to become. Is that more fan speak, or as a coach, can you see that?
I think there's galvanizing moments throughout a season. I don't think they're as big as what they're portrayed in the media, to be honest with you. I think it's about a whole bunch of little steps. But they're only galvanizing moments if you move forward and execute moving forward. Like if they lost in the first round, nobody would have said it was a galvanizing moment, and they didn't win because of that night. They wouldn't have lost because of that night. That was a moment. I'm sure it brought them closer together to some level, but ultimately you got to move forward and continue to do your job. And success is about steps. It's not about giant leaps. It's about steps in the right direction and minimizing the ones in the wrong direction. And, so I'll just circle back to our own hockey team, which is what I'm focused on. And, our team right now, we got to make sure that we use last night as a galvanizing moment for us, that we're not going to do that. That's not going to be acceptable. And we're going to take steps in the right direction.
Great. Thank you very much, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's it for us today. Thanks, everyone.